Is it showtime?
Showtime.
At the Apollo. You wouldn't get that Canadian. Listen, thank you guys for coming today. I am Charles Morgan. I am your city council person. And I mean, I am here for you. And that's why we're here today. One thing I campaigned on was I said I would do these quarterly. I got elected in November, held my first one in December. Wasn't even in office yet. But we went ahead and held one. And so this is wrapping up the first quarter of the year, and I just wanted to sit down and get together with people again. Again, thank you for coming. I really don't have a plan like I didn't have a plan for the first one, the people that came. But yeah, just kind of talk a little bit about what we've got going on in town. As you have seen, there's a lot going on Main Street. I think that we as a city government are learning a lot about this project as it's ongoing. This is the only block that we're doing at this time because it comes down to money. And if anybody wants to fund it, we're more than happy to take a few million from you if you got it to help fund some of the other blocks. But we are stopping here. You've also hopefully noticed that there's been some buildings in town that have cleaned up on Main Street. So we're trying to push people into getting buildings cleaned up, buildings for sale. We now have some resident homeowners that have torn down some of their own vacant, dilapidated properties on their own, which did not cost us as a town any money. So that does a couple of things. To me, I think that's the best route for us to go. If we can have the homeowner dispose of the abandoned property on their own, that saves us taxpayers, us, money to tear it down. But it also helps that homeowner when they go to, or property owner when they go to sell that lot. For example, if it's an old house, the town spends $25,000 to tear it down. We put a $25,000 lien on that property. What's a $20,000 lot now? Nobody's going to spend $45,000 for a $20,000 piece of property. So by encouraging these people to tear these things down on their own, that really helps. But to me, one of the biggest eyesores that I see in town is that place I call College Street Elementary School. Amen. Where I was the last 5th grade class. I'm 55, how old am I? 53.
Your child.
I'm still wet behind the ears is what my mama keeps telling me, but I feel a little drier every day. But College Street looks pretty rough. I have had a discussion with Kevin Bronson, our city administrator, on a couple occasions, and then in the February meeting, because I didn't get progress, I put it on the record as a question to him at the meeting. He has reached out to the owner of the building. He is to have it boarded up by the end of this month. Supposedly there's some plans in place for demolition of the old gym, which was the old 5th grade building, and trying to save the main building to a degree. What that timeline looks like needs to be quicker for me than years down the road. My thinking is that when we have, I kind of like this. This is like a monologue. So when we have ball teams come in, whether it's volleyball or basketball, we've got these people come in. What's the first thing they see?
That nappy building.
Yes.
Well, what about the roof? I mean, they can board the windows up, but what about the roof that's falling?
I'll compromise right now because there's people living in it. I've seen them come out of the building myself with my own 2 eyes.
Who's got the liability? The man that owns it,
the owner.
in case that thing goes down on their head?
But here's the thing, our police department nor fire department are allowed to enter that building.
But yet,
Why?
I don't know. It's a safety issue. I know it's a safety issue, but I don't know who created that order, that directive. I do not know. I'm just passing on to you what I've been told. Here comes somebody. I don't know.
Do they have plans for the building to refurbish it?
It's Franklin. Yes. Hold on, let me let Mr. Jones in.
I don't understand that building. That seemed like a baby like a building.
Was that door down there?
No, I haven't heard that.
There's a door down there?
Yeah.
Franklin?
Sorry.
Where were we about,
I was wondering if they had plans for the school building. You
so
said,
I was told yes, there are plans for the school. building.
great.
Now,
What type of plans,
a
like a
timeline.
housing plan or stores
What?
or,
no, a travel ball training facility.
oh, okay.
So, which would fit in well with the
Right,
gymnasium and
theme,
stuff
mhm.
there. But I want more of a concrete timeline, not someday.
Yeah,
Where is that to be?
well, it's gonna fall down if they don't.
The College Street Elementary School, yes.
They had to tear that thing down.
Well, yeah, I want stuff cleaned up, I want it done.
Yeah.
It's just like Dixie's put up a fence around, the parcel where their building is, but I want a fence around that other too.
Yeah.
Is this your?
Okay?
You can work there, thank you.
You know, I mean, I wanna see things change, and I wanna see them change rapidly.
Absolutely.
I don't want this thing to meander over years, I want it done a lot more quick. You know, I don't want, you know, if we need to change ordinances, we need to change ordinances.
Who's the owner of the building now? I know
David-
Jack used to
David
be.
Brown, he owns Brown Mechanical, they're on Highway 11, it's a machine shop. He lives, there on Critter Road,
Mm-hmm,
right behind, I don't know what it is now, it was a church,
yeah,
but he built that gray house up there on, it's public record, up on the hill.
Yeah, up on the hill.
Yeah. But we have been in contact with him because that does need to, it needs to be remedied. I'm tired of looking at it, I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of looking at it. Just because, and you know, it's not because I'm against homeless people, but knowing that the police department nor the fire department will go in, I don't want to see, loss of human life.
Absolutely.
How can you find out who won't let you go in there?
Well, police chief said his guys weren't going in, so the fire chief. So I don't know if that's an internal decision that was made. I do not know. I don't know. I'm gonna find out, but I doubt they passed an ordinance, a city ordinance for something like that.
I think it's private property, they just can't walk in, so.
So, you know, it's a mess over there. And they've had a ladder up against the wall where they were going, and listen, again, I'm not against these people that are homeless. I really feel a lot of compassion for them, but at the same time, I don't want to see them die in a fire. You know, or the roof cave in.
Falling in on them.
Yeah, you know, so that's my big thing. I'm willing to compromise. I'll take a little bit of something over a whole lot of nothing being done about it. If we can get it secured, I'll compromise for a little while on that before we keep pushing on that particular item. When it comes to the playground, I think the playground that back here behind us or beside us has been kind of beat to death, but everybody knows we ain't got the money to fix it ourselves, okay? We are trying to raise money.
Where'd the $250,000 go?
I don't know. Again, that's BC, before Charles. So those, I mean, these are things that, you know, it's like your funds, your AMI funds. I mean, I've got to look into. I don't know. I didn't even know they were in. I don't even know what it is. But we'll get around to that too.
Why would they use money to do one little block up here instead of, I mean, but isn't that messing up for the Apple Festival, which is the
yes.
biggest thing
Yes,
that we have?
they've been told to plan for the alternate route. Now, I don't know I personally don't know what the alternate route is yet. I mean, you've been around, you're on council, DC.
I have no idea what the alternate route is.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And again, I mean, these are things that we're learning. Yeah, I mean, these are things that I'm definitely learning. I don't think anybody on council or anybody here has been here for a project quite like this.
Can I ask a question? Why do we start projects before we finish other projects? Why do we start big projects like this when we got a project over here we've been working on for several years maybe, and it's not completed? What's the status on the park for the children over there? You know?
Talking about this part?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the bathrooms are always
I don't
locked.
have money. There's no money.
And
No grant
Susan can tell you just like I can, this town lives on grant money. If we had to live on just the taxes, who would make it?
Well, do we have more than 2 months worth of money for emergencies now?
No, we do not.
Last time I checked, it was 25 days of cash on hand. Is
I wanna
that
say,
accurate?
I wanna say in the meeting, on our planning meeting the other day, 29 or 34 days is what's sticking out.
That's really concerning.
And
with the way the world's going.
it needs to be a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. And since we're talking about finances, one thing I ran on was, freezing taxes and fees for residents inside the city limits. Well, that's not gonna happen, because we're gonna try to lower taxes by 1 mil again. Westminster is the highest millage rate. And so we're gonna try to lower them and see if we can't get some more growth to help offset some of these costs. Yes, Franklin?
About these finances and whatnot,
Yeah.
it's my understanding that nobody has figured out where the hacker is taking this money from. Is this true? Are we still, because I'm blocked from, as you know, Facebook and any other outlet that would give me information in this regard. So,
I don't know if the city's put out anything besides the initial.
my concern is, we're digging up a goodly portion of historic downtown over here, and this seems to come right on the heels of this hacker thing, and it's like almost a diversion, it would seem to me, that we're doing all this chaos out here, and nobody's talking about all this missing money. Everybody's talking about the fact we ain't got no money, but
We ain't.
if SLED is investigating, and I don't know if you've read my appeal to my current case with the city of Westminster or not, but it certainly seems like South Carolina government is not too concerned about the citizens of Westminster and how they're getting ripped off. Because this money's flying out of here. We got all these projects going, and it's just a little, what's the word, cognitive dissonance going on. Because, I see new garbage trucks, see everybody driving nice new trucks and everything, and, we're tearing up roads over here with no plan or ID. And we're missing money, and still, I guess, there's a case out there somewhere, and maybe a judge's order that's saying the utility department scammed a whole bunch of people, and they're due money back. And all this money's just gone.
Yeah.
And it's not looking too good, and I know you like to say that's before Charles Morgan.
Well, hey, look.
But
It's true.
It's true.
I mean,
We don't have it.
you're laying down with the dogs right now.
Well, you gotta start somewhere, and you gotta get people out to vote. You gotta get people out to vote. People like Charles Morgan, who cares about the people, who cares about where the money's at, who cares about. I'm not trying to take over your meeting.
No, go ahead.
You gotta get somebody
I wouldn't
in there
hush you
who
up.
cares. You gotta get somebody in here like Charles, who has, look at him. He's over here spending his time. He don't have to do this for us. He does not. But he's doing it for us to let us know that he cares about us. Will we agree on everything? Certainly. I mean, Miss Judy, we don't agree on everything, do we?
No.
But does that mean that I shouldn't treat you like a person?
Better.
Well, no, it's not better. God requires me to treat you. Just because we don't agree on stuff don't mean that I don't love you as a person.
Or need to send you off for a 3-day
I don't
involuntary
really know
mental health
you, but-
evaluation.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we gotta learn how to get along in this town we do not agree, we can move and build this town to be something it could be beyond.
And we can. And we've got
With
a
that
great
man right
opportunity.
And I think it, Charles, I'm sorry, but I think that takes us.
This is your meeting.
I
This
think
is
it
a
takes
town
us
hall.
recognizing the positive things that go on in this city as well as the negative stuff, always the negative
You know, I mean,
stuff. Has to be some positive stuff.
I think it'd be a whole lot more positive if we got rid of a certain city administrator, in my opinion.
I don't know if you've looked into the money
I
stuff,
disagree.
but Westminster, London was also robbed at the same time as Westminster City.
Oh, I looked, cause I was Googling it, you know.
Basically, that hackers saw a backdoor to money. So it's not somebody local to here. He's taking that.
Yes, but Westminster, London has money. They have
Excuse
royal
me, but
money
how do you know
piled
that,
up.
ma'am? How do you know that?
Hacker,
How do you know that? Where do you get your information from?
It is, Westminster did get hacked the
it's
same day.
same exact day.
I'm saying, how do you know that that is what happened to the money in this city?
If you were deducing, that is a lot.
No, I'm not deducing anything. I would like to know how you know that
No,
for
money
a
didn't get
fact.
hacked. Money walked out the door in somebody's pocket. Come on.
I'm asking you to say, where did you hear from the city officials that that's what happened?
I'm saying, if you look, the hacking happened on the same day.
Yes.
Well, from my
So,
experience
a
on
hacking
hacking.
is not money walking out the door. A hacking is something that happens on a computer. So that's.
But they've not even told us what's
It's
happened.
usually ransomware is what happens, usually. I'm not saying I know anything about Westminster because I don't. I'm just saying, people, when they say hack, you thinking of somebody reaching through the phone line and get money. It doesn't happen that way. They call and they take over your computer and they say, hey, send me 100,000 or all your people's information is going to go out in such and such a time, and you pay this money, and either you pay the money or your stuff gets gone. So
I think
it's,
hacking's an awful
that is my
vague
understanding from
term.
what I've experienced, but I could be totally wrong.
They've
I
not
don't know.
given us a whole lot of information on it either.
And they won't
Simply
until the
because-
investigation's
Well,
done.
is SLED covering for somebody?
Well, the FBI's the one that's involved in security.
Exactly.
Well, you know, SLED is involved as well.
Well, I know they are, and the Secret Service is
Well-
also involved, and they've told us.
I mean, with all
very
these
limited-
people involved, and this is a town of Westminster, not Westminster, UK, but Westminster, South Carolina, there's not a whole lot of suspects to really delve deep into around here. Unless you really think there's an international conspiracy to somehow hack Westminster
That's
for all
beyond-
their delicious money.
That's beyond my pay grade, because it's.
Because I've heard we're out of money. And we ain't even talking about the hacked money.
Online hacking is a thing, and it's
It
not,
is.
I mean,
It is.
we sell real estate and we get taught like what to look for.
Yes, I
fake
help build data
emails.
centers. I'm aware of it.
So,
I'm aware of hacking. Yes, I'm very much aware of it.
Well, but Charles, even with bank robberies, they tell you how much money's got gone, but they're not telling us
Yeah.
anything, nothing.
So how can you plan anything?
Well, I
I
thought it
mean-
went out in the paper the day after it happened, didn't it?
No, there's no amount been released.
No, there's no info.
Well, I guess
We don't know from what account it came from. All we know is it's on a
And they,
Westminster Dell computer that somebody frickin' got money off of. I'm saying
We
Dell
just- yeah, we
because I
just-
assume it's an off-the-shelf
we're
computer.
just not in a position to be able to talk about it at this point.
Right, and Charles is not. He's telling you the truth when he tells you that.
I mean,
It's
if
not
it were
like-
up to me, I'd have just brought it all out here and put it out to everybody. But that's not what they wanted to do.
Nah, well,
So,
we'll talk about
you know,
meter
At this point, we're listening to what law enforcement officers are telling us to do.
But
They
do
told
we
us
have
to-
a status on the park up there at all? Is there a
They're
status?
raising money
Um,
to finish the equipment.
On what, Susan?
The
The,
status on the
there's-
kids' park on Anderson.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was finished. Is it not?
No.
They're asking for $325,000 in donations from the public in order to finish it.
So they will be applying for another grant. And what I'm discovering is we apply for a grant, we get a grant, and I don't know who was talking about why we start something and don't finish it.
I guess it's me.
But sometimes
I'm guilty.
we have to start things because the grant has to be used and spent by.
Mm-hmm.
Now this guy was supposed to have started back, I think in November on this project here. Well, we see what time it is now. It's March, so that guy got pushed back. The concession stand is making progress over here on the new ball field. And we've actually got some people wanting to come play some games or something. I guess we'll find out some more on that. What else is?
Could you find out what the projected income is for those 3 bookings?
Oh, I want to know all the income, not just on that.
And expensive.
Well, because to me, we've got these ball fields and they need to pay for themselves.
From what I understand, the budget to maintain them will be more than our current rec budget altogether.
It is possible. Well, we've not seen any numbers on.
But
on
how
that
have,
for you.
since we have no numbers, do we even know how it's going to pay for itself?
No. Not that's been presented to council at this time. No.
Is that something you could please look into?
That's something I want.
Thank you.
I want to know income projections, how many tournaments, how they look at doing it. Because I've already spoken with City of Seneca and Clemson's rec departments to find out how they set up their tournaments and their games and stuff, just to see how we compare when they come up with numbers.
And question, if it is a shortfall from income, how will the city pay for it? Are they going to increase our utility rates? Or
I'm gonna tell you now, I will not. Of course, I'm only 1 out of 7 total. I will not vote for a tax increase because of these ball fields.
and what about utility rate hikes to cover it?
Like I said, this stuff's got to be self-sufficient.
Well, then how's the water gonna get paid for? Green grass ain't cheap, especially in Westminster. I've tried.
No, it's not. Luckily, that's Bermuda. It's just easier turf grass to take care of. But there's a lot. Just for example, they asked for $65,000 worth of equipment, just for that over there, and we approved it. And I voted to approve that equipment. And I voted for it because we've got these ball fields and we've got to take care of them.
Has a reason for the ball.
Well, and that's the thing. Now,
Had a swimming pool and took care of that.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But if these ball fields are going to have to generate revenue. They can't be a drag on our finances. We've got enough drags on finances now. Reagan's no longer with us as assistant city administrator, and as it looks right now, we don't have any plans to replace him simply because of money.
What about the code enforcer? We don't have a code enforcer
So
anymore.
Bob Jones is no longer with us. He resigned.
Yeah.
And
Can I
what's that?
mention code enforcement, because I did actually call the Westminster City Hall about enforcing codes. It seems this particular person we're discussing, there's a new storage facility, in case you haven't noticed, behind the Hardys.
Yeah.
Looks suspiciously like a Brian Ramey metal building of some kind, but I digress. The back lot that's facing Hardy's has a drainage pipe that drains the whole entire hillside into my neighbor's yard. And I complained about this before they even finished building it. That, it's state law, you can't just dump your drainage water on your neighbor's property, especially since they have a huge drainage ditch on the other side out there on their street front, right? With Highland Drive. So all this water from the whole entire property, and you can go there today and see all of the silt and all the the wave patterns in the dirt and how pretty soon it's just gonna be a stream. And it's just inundating all the properties back there. You know, the farm store there. Well, they got products stored back in the back of their lot, and all this water's just gushing right to it. And I warned the city that this is, it's insufficient and illegal, but yet nobody has bothered to deal with it. And I guess, you know.
Well, who's doing the code enforcement since Jones resigned?
So Jeff, who's our fire marshal, has been doing the code enforcement. And he's the one that's been getting stuff torn down
That's good.
and stuff. He's using the codes to get results. And he's negotiating with people to get results. He enjoys it. He's a former Marine, so he's pretty much straight cut by the book. And if he wants to do it, I would like to see him continue to do it.
People respect that, though.
Well, and he's playing it even across the board. He's not giving this guy a break, and the guy over here has got the same issue holding his feet to the fire.
Yeah, well, the police chief's a former Marine too, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I do. Semper Fidelis there, huh?
I have a question. So you said Westminster's money is basically in grants.
A lot of our money's in grants, yes.
So losing the city administrator assistant, how bad is that gonna impact our grant funding if we don't have somebody that is filing those grants?
It was, Kevin Bronson was our biggest grant writer, according to him.
We have grant writers. We have two ladies in Walhalla that writes grants for us.
But, you know, it's just like all the money that's replacing the pipe on 4 lane, all of the grant money. It is needed. I mean, there's no pipe under the ground anymore.
Just no one's hunting those grants, and that's what we rely on. That seems like a bad decision to not replace that hole.
Well, it all comes down to money. And we need to recoup some cost. Or we need to reevaluate what that person does as an assistant and look at a different pay scale.
Well, before he had an assistant, Bronson was touted as capable of writing for and getting enough grants to totally offset his salary. That's the way it was presented in council.
Now, I don't know, maybe it was.
They all do know. Why?
But I mean, why? If he was able to do it then, why can't he do it now?
My understanding, he is the one.
Because he told all his subordinates to drop
He's the one
dead.
that actually writes the grants.
Then the
He's
paper,
pretty good at it.
I do like what he's doing.
That's good.
I
He's pretty
don't.
good at it. And
I don't
he
appreciate
identifies.
it.
So there's not really a loss of someone writing for grants.
No.
I'm sure
Okay,
you have a personal
then
thing, but as an individual and
That's
part of
right.
this town, I like him, I like the
Well,
positive
as an
things he's
individual,
doing.
he circumvents the law, and I dislike him immensely and think he should be fired.
Well, you know,
And
that's
anybody
what's-
that supports him should
Remember,
probably
we
go
all
to jail for what they've done to me.
disagree.
That's right, but
Right, we can
yeah,
all agree to
exactly. And
disagree.
you have supporters and you
He's
have.
strong on it, and you're
Exactly.
strong on yours,
And I
and
am
you're strong on
too.
yours, so
Yeah.
let's get back to Charlie, you telling us what's gonna happen in the future, are we expecting any increases in water or sewer, or?
So, speaking of sewer, so the OJSRA will be disbanding.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So,
we
we're not
took-
gonna be a percentage anymore?
No. So the 3 towns took grant money a few years ago to have a study done. And in the grant, the OJSRA would be disbanded and would be reconstituted, and we will no longer own the sewer system in our town.
Oh, they're gonna own it,
Yes.
and they're gonna do the upkeeps, but we
Yes.
have to bring it up to grade before they'll
Well,
take
not the
it.
whole thing. Hallelujah, not the whole thing.
So what's gonna be those pipes out there, clay pipes that no longer in grade? They're gonna fix them
They will be
eventually.
responsible for
Okay.
fixing it. Now, when I start looking at numbers, we don't make a whole lot on the sewer. We don't make any money on sewer.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I mean, it's a revenue loser for us.
It sure needs to be replaced. All
Oh,
of
yeah.
that stuff is in bad shape.
Mhm.
Well, and you know, we've done a lot of work on our sewer system. There's a lot more work needs to be done. In talking to Scott Parrish, he estimated around 12 million or so more in repairs that needed to be done. And because I mean, I asked him point blank, well, what's the greatest benefit for us, to hold it or to get rid of it? He said, I'd get rid of it. You got $12 million worth of repairs that need to be done. In addition to the 5 that's been put in the ground now. So, you know, there's a lot needs to be done. Something that's coming up that we've talked about doing, and they won't happy to get your input, is that building these neighborhoods around towns seems to be a thing to do nowadays. And as these towns are supplying them water and sewer services, we've got options. And we have discussed passing an ordinance to make these new communities that want our sewer and our water to comply with our comprehensive plan and our design standards. And by that I mean, you know, have a minimum of a R20 lot versus R10. You know, not packing the density so tight, because as we do that, that's more strain on our infrastructure that we as taxpayers pay for if they're outside city limits. And we can do that because they have to sign an annexation covenant to come into town. So we can make them go to our design standards. What are people's thoughts on that?
Don't the density of structures, I mean, you're spreading a sewer system out over a further area and you're saying it's more efficient that way. I would think a denser, smaller lots would be more efficient anyway, because your network is being condensed.
We've got one sewer plant that handles the entire county.
Well, I didn't tell nobody not to modify the sewer plant over time.
Well, they have to.
So we got one,
Yes,
one sewer plant.
They have to.
You have to be a certain, like a 2 million gallon is what, I mean.
So here's the thing.
You
So
have to be a certain amount.
when our pump goes out on our water plant, it's us, the city residents, that can be levied with an additional tax to pay for it, not the people outside the city limits. It's our infrastructure. I want to see our infrastructure that we maintain as taxpayers. I mean, I'm for Westminster. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that say they're Westminster because they live in 29693. But my job is to protect the residents of this town, and I want to make sure that if we put something in place that we protect our infrastructure, that our taxpayers are on the hook for paying.
Well, don't you think that we need to get our finances in order before we keep doing all this different stuff? We should have more than 2 months worth of emergency money.
But we can't stop. Here's the thing: we've got to keep going, and we got to keep growing. We got to keep going, and we have to keep growing. The only way that a town like Westminster is going to succeed is to increase our tax revenue. We can increase our tax revenue one of 2 ways. The easy way is just to raise everybody's taxes here in town.
They've done that about 100.
Yeah.
But affordability at some point, it matters. Okay? Or we can grow town, like with Jerry Smith's neighborhood he's wanting to develop, with some other neighborhoods that have been talked about right outside of town that appear they may qualify to be annexed in. Those are ways that we can grow our revenue. But at the same time, we've got to control cost. And part of that means we're going to have to make decisions on how many personnel we have in place at times.
If we're spending everything we got, how are we gonna ever build that?
But there's also little things like with restricted funds, that, you know, we have restricted funds. We've got to keep, we're getting ready to have 1.35 million we're gonna have to maintain in a restricted account. And I'm like, well, where's the money going? It's just sitting in a checking account. Is it in a money market account? Is it in anything that makes the town any additional money? If it's $50 a year, that's $50 a year we didn't have. It's just using all the tools at our disposal to be able to go out and create additional revenue without it being on the backs of the taxpayer. We're taxed enough. And our poor little town, unfortunately, we're not in a position to have a lot of hospitality tax and a lot of accommodations tax. We're not there.
How many outstanding bonds do we have right now?
I don't know. Several. Our debt service, and looking at it, how it rolls off. But so soon as something rolls off, the idea is going to be to fill it back up with new vehicles, with new this, with new that. You know, we need a fire truck desperately. Desperately, our town needs a new fire truck.
Need roads under that fire truck, especially
Yep,
over
need
there.
roads under that fire truck.
Drive,
We've got over
Sunk
$700,000 in sitting in C funds.
So we're kind of living off bonds to get our new stuff, right?
Bonds and
Is
grants.
that
Bonds and grants.
And utility fund.
Yeah, but now here's the thing, we're committed to only transferring 5% out of that utility fund, which means,
Yeah, but the commitment doesn't mean that's what actually happens.
Needs to find a hacker.
That commitment to 5% or whatever usually ends up to be 10%, 12%, 15%. That's the pass.
I'm gonna vote for 5%. That's what we go. That's where I'm gonna stay.
But they end up transferring when they need it though.
They take it.
Even though they say that,
Well,
it's
I won't vote for it.
eventually.
5% is 5%. It's just like I won't vote for raising taxes for ball fields. I'm just not doing it. But again, I'm one guy, and I know several of y'all have been showing up to meetings. Well, I mean, about everybody in here was the last meeting. Pretty close.
We care.
Except for Franklin. Where were you, Franklin?
What, at the
Last
city,
meeting. I was waiting on you.
at the city hall meeting?
Yes.
I didn't want to be harassed by your police chief anymore,
You weren't gonna be harassed. You won't be harassed.
or your lawyer, or Kevin Bronson, who should be fired.
Well,
Right, y'all saw what happened at that meeting. I'm not into showing up for abuse.
I appreciate you coming.
Question.
You're the only one.
AMI.
That's not true. We
You
appreciate
said you
coming
might-
and being a
So what?
citizen and
I
asking
meant the-
questions.
Susan.
The council.
Yes.
The AMI funds.
Okay. Yes.
What does that stand for?
It's the meters that they put in the ground.
automated meter.
That's supposed to automatically read, and they put up antennas. It's kind of, it was the meter system that they put in. Well, before I got into council, they placed, the capital project burden on the citizens. And they was to charge them $7 per month on their water bill for so many years, and then it was supposed to reduce to $5 a month for so long, and then it was supposed to rotate off when the bond was paid for. But unfortunately, the bond was paid off, but nobody stopped taking, they never reduced it to $5, plus they kept taking the $7, plus they never took it off of anybody's bill when the bond was paid for. So the citizens kept on paying that $7. Everybody that was in or outside of Westminster was paying $7. And come to find out, when they finally realized that the bond had been paid off a long time ago, they didn't refund the citizens' money. They talked about refunding it, but then they said that they couldn't figure out how much they would owe each citizen back. Said the,
Because it's only on our
wait now, wait, it's not to condemn anybody, because all I'm saying is they didn't keep a record of the paperwork, they said. So they didn't know how much they'd owe each individual. My personal thoughts is you take the months that you took it out and you weren't supposed to, you multiply that by each month, and you return some of that money back. Now, where the Westminster probably can't do it all at one time, but they could do credits to the accounts. They could maybe say, we're gonna credit your account $7 for so long, or something. I don't know how they could do it, but it's unfair that they sweep it under the rug and just say we're not getting the money.
And then
I don't care if
their
they
utility to make people criminals.
Wait, I'm not calling anybody no criminal, okay? Not by no means. It was probably a mistake, okay? But the citizens shouldn't have to no longer accept this excuse they can't figure out how much to give back. Get you a committee over there and you figure it out. You know, you might not can come to the exact amount, but any one of us will be glad to get back anything. Okay? Go back and pull the bond. See when the bond was paid. See how long they did take the $7 out. There should be some type of record showing it.
No, we order a shredded truck that shows up in front of City Hall every once in a while, and you know, that stuff disappears. I've seen that happen.
They really don't keep good records, though, from what I've heard.
And they shred the
I
rest.
mean, from what we've found.
I recommend a new accounting system be installed that accounts for everything. If a transaction's made, you could trace it back to the 1800s. You need something in there that accounts for who keyed it, when it got keyed. You should be able to put a software system in where you can press a button and tell how much Judy paid on that building up there for seniors. I mean, it should be very detailed, and you shouldn't have to struggle to get that information. I introduced this back in 2016, had it approved. They was over there switching it out, but for some reason, they got worried when they knew it would count every keystroke, and it got swept out fast.
They stopped it.
I can tell you how much I paid for that.
Oh, no, I was just using that as an example, sweetie.
City didn't, that's the reason I called it out the other night.
Listen.
So much junk has been told about that. We got $200,000 grants that pay for every bit of that building. And it belongs to the seniors.
Honey, I was just using it as an example, not because it's you. I could have said Kathy. I just didn't. I should have said Kathy if I knew it hurt your feelings. And I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
I'm very sorry if that hurt your feelings. But that was just an example I was using.
No, I don't get hurt. But no, I'm glad you said that because, you know,
well, I want you to know it ain't got nothing to do with you or that building. I was just using an example. I mean, I could have used my house. You know, I should have used my house. I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings.
No, I'm not feeling sorry.
But
Mine did.
Okay, Charles. I just believe that they could do if they have, you gotta get your finances in order before you can grow. You're not gonna keep growing if money keeps missing. If you're doing projects that never get finished, you're begging citizens for money to finish it, why start it? Why not keep what we got until we know we can fully finish it? And if the grant don't fully cover it, then don't tear what we got up. That's my opinion. That's just an opinion of mine.
I wish things were communicated better. I just think that communication at City Hall is not exactly what it needs to be.
Well, Charlie, when we ask questions, people get mad. they get upset, they think we're trying to attack them, or we're trying to make them, they're not a good person, but you gotta ask questions to learn. Always treat people with respect. You might not agree, like I told all y'all, we might not agree when we walk out of here, but we can agree to love each other. We don't have to, just because, maybe say for instance, I don't like something, how it's run, that doesn't mean I hate the person that's running it. I think we should come up with ideas and maybe a group say, yeah, maybe we could do it this way. Kathy might have a better idea, or
And
your
discuss
wife.
it in public like we're doing now, rather than get on Facebook and say, da, 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 da.
Well, you
It's
gotta,
destroying
Well,
this.
some of
it's
us can
destroying
get on
this now.
Facebook. And say,
well, you gotta put it out there when you see stuff going on. We might not agree with how it's put out there,
That's right.
but we don't have to hate each other. And until we figure out a way we can get along, they can't do any better.
And it
They
has to be
can't.
the truth. That's the most important thing. Make sure you do your research and put truth out there.
Let me
If we
tell you
don't have
something, I'm
these
gonna say this.
True.
I walked up at the Apple Festival to our mayor, stuck up my hand to shake his. Be good. Did you know he stood there and stared at me and never reached out his hand to mine?
Who did it, Susan? I didn't hear.
Brian Ramey.
Oh.
Now you tell me that that's somebody that wants to prosper in Westminster, when you can't reach out to a person who reached out to you. That is pretty sick right there.
I'm never gonna avoid anybody.
I'm not
wherever
either.
they are. I will be available to talk to you.
I'm not gonna do it. If I see Judy on the street, I'm gonna speak to her. If I see you on the street, I'm gonna speak to you. I'm gonna speak to everybody.
The first thing Brian Ramey did to me when I moved here, right, was accuse me of stealing water from his meter. And he knows it's a lie. And you can't find any record of any missing water. And nobody else can either. So Brian Ramey, upon me moving to Westminster, made me a thief. And he used his little crooked court down there to do it. So there's no love between me and this guy, because I am not a thief. And I think more of me and my ancestors than to sit around and take being called a thief by that scum. Right? I'm out.
Let me apologize again. I didn't mean to start nothing like that. I was just trying to make a point. People feel, they don't feel like that they can come forward, and they don't feel like that they can talk earnestly about how they're feeling.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
And we gotta get to that point. And I believe you're carrying us there. But
I'll tell
it's
you my
not easy.
philosophy. I've got a political science undergraduate degree. Okay, not necessarily proud of that. Yeah, I kind of like it. I'm a nerd on politics. But I've read all these founding documents, the Federalist Papers, the anti-Federalist Papers, which really weren't put out the same way as the Federalist Papers. But anyway, I truly believe in our experiment in democracy. I truly believe in our representative form of government. This is your government. This is your city council. I just have the honor of being able to sit in a seat temporarily until somebody else sits in it. I want to be approachable. I want people to feel comfortable coming to their government and expressing their opinions and their ideas. Because we do live in a small town. We've got to make this little hamlet of ours, it's got to be a community. We've really got to come together and be a community and love on one another around here and help each other. You know, I watch Westminster at times help each other when there's a storm or something goes on, and it just makes you proud. You know, this Westminster, this is what we do. This is who we are. but we've got to teach other people that,
It's a
that's
great
who
little
we are.
town, and I'm not from here, but it's a great little
Well, we
town.
won't hold that against you.
No.
I'm not from here either. but I-
Exactly.
I'm gonna hold it against
See, you
you.
have us too to make it better, don't you, Gary?
Well, you know, I mean, I'm from here,
That's right.
but I moved away for 20 years, and I moved back, and I've seen things done different places. Were they done better? I don't know if it were really done any better or done any worse. We've got the same problems most of the small towns I've talked to since I've been elected have. Money problems, growth. You know, do we have enough police people? We need a new fire truck too. We've got, you know, water problems. It's small town America. It's what we've got. I don't ever care to be big town. I want to see Westminster grow some. I want to see our tax burden lessened. I want to see us be able to have things and not have to go, government in Columbia, please give us money for a fire truck. I'd rather be able to vote as council and say, stroke a check for $1 million and buy a fire truck for the town. But we're not there yet. And the only way we're going to get there is again, we've got to manage these expenses and we've got to grow. And if this ball fields help bring in money, you know, Waffle House says one reason they're coming is because of the ball fields.
Yeah. What about McDonald's?
McDonald's is still coming.
Still coming?
Yes. We're just waiting on crews. When I get told, waiting on the remodel crews to finish up.
So it's been settled, it is coming? Okay,
That's what I've been told.
that's what I've been told too.
So, I mean, nothing moves fast.
It's a slow process.
But you know, it's unfortunately we are losing the Dollar Tree.
I hear, listen,
I hear stuff too.
a thing's gonna go in there to buy batteries and cars.
Auto parts stores, what I heard.
But Charles, why do we need that when we got one right across the street?
I don't know.
Well, tell me though, you're supposed to have answers.
Well, I tell you, competition is going to create lower prices.
That's true.
That's true, but that's like the Mexican restaurant. Does that create lower prices?
I don't think so.
No, it don't.
Things cost what they cost. I had to replace the battery in the truck, in the F-150. Last week before, I guess last week, $240 for a battery.
Oh, I know.
And a lot of cussing getting it out.
Well, I can't do
They
without
used to
Dollar
do.
Tree, I'm sorry.
No, but you know,
We love
it's,
We love the Dollar Tree.
I want to see things come to town. You know, we've got the new, I don't know if y'all been to the new dress shop in town. They don't have anything for me really. Nothing my size. I tried everything on. Pardon?
They don't care to.
No,
They should carry in the matching dresses.
because I sure would have bought a bow tie or two from them.
Oh,
And that's.
Yes, I think we need to be supporting the local businesses for sure. Encouraging
exactly.
Well, you know, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
there's-
when you go into somewhere in town, they say, oh, have you eaten there? It is horrible. You know, but then that poor restaurant don't stand a chance. And we do so much of that. I mean, right after Beef and Rib opened, I ate up there and ate up there and ate up there, thinking things were gonna pick up for those people. And it just didn't, because word got out. Some people went in there and didn't get the service they thought they should get, and it went all over town. And so those people are just struggling like crazy. We're never gonna grow businesses until we start supporting them.
That's it. So, you know, everybody knows we sell real estate together, and she sells the real estate. I'm just the eye candy. Okay?
Hmm.
I'm the eye candy.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. But we try to buy everything we can as local as possible. I mean, I could go to Amazon and get some of the stuff cheaper. I could. But I try to buy it as local as possible. Unless it's at Staples, and I did not go into Staples ever. Me and Staples, we don't get along.
I love Staples.
So that's a long story. Y'all go to Staples all y'all want, but I don't go to Staples.
When you have a family and you got 5 people or 6 people, it's impossible to go out to eat a lot. A lot of people stay in now. They
We
could.
went to Five Guys a month or so
When
ago.
we go out, it's like,
It's $40.
we can go.
But, and I think most people are like that. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
but I think the thing we can do is when we do go, is to go out and say, I had a wonderful meal at such and such, you should try it.
I think a lot of the Facebook messages that we see are the negative, and we need to,
Exactly.
like he said, the messaging is not great for
Exactly.
the town, so
Exactly,
put out
it's
positive
horrible.
stories.
It's horrible.
Well, it's tough. You know, everybody wants to be able to speak their mind, say what they want to say and what they're feeling. Sometimes that's just not the best message to put out.
That's right.
You know, and I get it. There's a lot of times I just want to tell somebody what I think.
And if you have a real
Most
estate
of the time I just tell
license,
her.
if you have a real estate license, you're really limited on what you can say online, so.
Oh yeah.
So that helps you keep your tongue.
Yeah.
You know, when we finished our building down there, we were so excited. We thought it was a plus for the city of Westminster. We have so many elderly people here. And if you knew some of the people that have been coming in there and listen to them, how they feel about it. But we have been slaughtered on Facebook.
And the studies with
It's just,
age and demographics is if you don't have community, your life is greatly reduced.
that's right. So we have so many seniors and we get more every day. But just trying to keep up with all the gossip that goes on, and that's what it is, it's gossip.
I've
That's what I
never
struggle
seen
with.
anything on Facebook say anything
Do
bad.
what?
I have never seen anything on Facebook. I must be in the wrong group.
Really, because I
Yeah.
get people
Right
like
group.
groups, yeah.
Who does?
What group you?
Do what?
I'm
I
not
think
in
it's
any groups.
private,
I
the one that's so
I hadn't
big,
seen it the same.
you can't get on to, I don't think. But, it's a private little thing.
I've never seen.
I have never seen it.
I've seen good things, but I've never.
Anything about them organizing the volunteers for the cleanup?
Let's get ready to get organized.
Can you paint those underpasses, please? I'll buy it.
I don't see why we could.
Well,
There's only one we really can't do.
You would have to have permission
Freeway
from the
stop.
railroad,
Yeah.
because you get fined really big
We've got,
dollars.
What is it?
That underpass. is
Oh, I know.
yeah, they,
Better not do anything around the railroad unless you ask.
and, something else I'd like to see, cause we walk our dogs a good bit. Well, we used to. When we used to walk our dogs a good bit. Thank you for embarrassing me with that huge truck.
Those railroad ties too, like right on the road where they throw them.
But I'm gonna tell you, our sidewalks are pretty bad in spots. I've noticed.
Now, I've had 2 seniors fall on this week walking.
I'm missing a whole chunk in front of their house, but it's just grass and stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I
I was
thought
gonna send you a letter in the mail. I'm just kidding.
I thought they had.
I'm like, I just wanna do.
They did have an agreement to
Yeah, they had several
reduce.
Well,
grants.
the thing is, we'll get back to C funds, so we've got over 700,000 in C funds. So we've got money to fix things with. And so what I would like, and what I've asked about is these underpasses that are so rough. Put pavement in. Because now the state says it's not their problem, the county says it's not their problem, the railroad says it's not their problem, but yet it's our town. And we're the ones driving over it. I'd like to see those repaved. The objection that was thrown up to me was that we can't find a company to take the job because it's too small. But wait, a month later I see a company out here patching potholes that we made when we had to replace water lines and things like that. Why can't they do the job?
Explain to me what C funds can be used for, because
I'm still learning.
well, we were told that when we had our building built, that, we could have, 3 different people came in and said, don't worry about your parking lot. We can get that from C funds. We waited for it, we used all our money in the building, and now we got a parking lot full of sand. And,
Sammy Dixon be the one to help you with that.
well, that's one that told me that we
Yeah.
could use C funds, but now he tells me we can't use C funds for that. He's
Well,
trying to help us, but he
They
said,
could have changed. I know the mortgage rules keep changing.
They changed the rules. They
And so,
consider it private property. So
but from what I was told, we should be able to fix some of these sidewalks we see funds, and we should also be able to
Curb it.
patch these things.
Looks like that's a matter of liability for the city, what, if somebody fell and got hurt.
Yeah, it is.
That's right.
But it's soon.
Two
Yeah.
federal grants I can send you that are specific to sidewalks. With the
Hey, I'm all for anything you wanna help us with. I'm all for anybody that wants to get engaged and starts helping with anything. And the more hands we can get on board and on deck, the better off our town will be. I wanna see more of this at the next one, more people. And I don't have a plan when I come here, cause again, this is your meeting. I'm here for you guys.
Well, we appreciate you coming.
Well,
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanna be available and
You show
just
an
chat.
interest in the town and the people of this town.
That's right.
And
It's all
want
fake. It's all fake.
We're gonna put you to the test.
We appreciate it.
You don't know how much we do appreciate it. It means a lot to a lot of people.
It's easy to sit here and I know you've been on both sides of this for sure, but it's easy to say what you think people should do. But when you get to sitting in the chairs, things always look a little different.
You only one.
But one thing I said I would do, and I committed to it, and I'm gonna do them as long as I can do them. We'll do these quarterly. So what's 3 months from now? June. So I guess sometime in June. Cancel all your vacation plans. Don't make any vacation plans until I schedule the next town hall. You know, oh, and you know, one thing we don't have, we've not planned to do anything as a town for 250th anniversary of the country either. We do have the Veterans Day parade here in town this year, and I think they were wanting to maybe do something like that. But if anybody's got any ideas about something to do around July 4th, y'all think of them and text them to me, email them. I got a city email now. I think it's cmorgan at westminstersc.org. That's it. But reach out to me. I mean, I'm open to any ideas.
You're on the you are or were on the planning commission, right?
Yes, I was.
It hasn't met since, has it?
No, I mean,
Because
after they got
signed
rid of
up
me, they said they
on-
don't need to meet anymore.
Yeah, we lost, yeah. Okay, I was just making sure.
No,
I'm
but-
not missing out on
No,
anything.
y'all, I think I will be
Is
meeting
y'all-
next month.
Okay. I'm
To
not
start
really
talking
yet.
about this proposed ordinance
Yeah.
on development. Listen, I'm all for the taxpayer, cause I'm one too, I live here.
Yeah.
But there's things that, you know, our town needs, and it's like I've told some people, you know, those are great ideas, are you willing to pay another $100 a month in taxes to pay for it? Along with everybody else in town. And most people aren't, so.
Well, you know, I think one of the problems in Westminster, we have a tremendous amount of elderly people, myself included, and they, and, you know, we get a lot of tax breaks. I mean, you know, when you get a certain age, you get this, and then you're squatters, you get that, or whatever. I think that's where a lot of problems come in. Don't raise my taxes, but I think that's where a lot of it comes in.
Raise Judy's taxes.
Hey,
$200 a
I
month.
wouldn't be against it. I got my tax bill the other day and I thought, my husband was with IBM and we lived everywhere. Lived in every town, every city, everything. And, you know, the taxes here for seniors are just ridiculously low, I think.
Don't.
I know, they'll shoot me when I get out on the street, aren't they?
I'm fixing to retire. I don't hear that.
But we've got,
Yeah.
so when you go back and you look at our comprehensive, you know, land use plan, the idea at the time was for us to be what's called a bedroom community. There was not gonna be manufacturing brought back into town. So no more Beacons, no more Dunlops, okay? It was gonna be where people lived and commuted to work. Well, for us to, as a town, to increase revenue, we gotta have more houses, because the commercial properties pay more in taxes. They also get charged a higher electric rate. So, you know, those are just some things that, you know, we've gotta be aware of, and I wanna see some houses being built. I know two's getting ready to be built, there on the corner of Anderson and, Walhalla Highway, or Westminster Highway. It'll always be Walhalla Highway to me.
Jerry's property, that's, they're gonna go in
Yeah.
and put.
He's gonna put 2 houses in there.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Y'all cannot leave early.
We got to, Rachel,
I'm in the middle.
just make some decisions. Bye, thank you.
Bye. One thing that is important to me is for everyone to be treated equal. When we come to those meetings, I want to see council speak to everybody. Whether you agree with everything somebody does, I want to be treated right. And if I got a question I ask, I want to be able to know I can stand up and ask it without worrying about who's going to be mad at me. I don't like that. I want the relationship we have with you with the others, because I think that's the only way our town's going to grow, that we're able to say, hey, we're not happy with this, but here's what we're not happy with. And can you find out this question for us without people being so
But
upset?
Susan, it's not that they're upset, it's just that they just don't want to hear it, because it then have to do something. They don't want to answer our questions. They don't have an interest in it, or they would be doing something like Charlie's doing. This is the first time we've ever had this type of interaction with council ever. Beside, knowing that, yeah, I know, and beside knowing that I could call you and talk to you.
Oh, I mean, I had meetings, we had different
But I mean,
committees, and I wanted everybody to come. I begged people to come, and let's make our town better.
but those people do not have the personality or the drive or the ambition or whatever it is that they don't have it. They don't want to do this. I don't even know that they're all that happy that Charles is doing this. They're not happy.
Well,
They're not
I assume
happy.
you're referring to the other individuals on the council, right?
yes, ma'am, I'm just talking about being able to
They
answer a
don't know.
question.
I don't know, they're always forthcoming with me, cause I ask a lot of questions, y'all. You just have to get to know me.
I'm learning.
Well, if you wanna know something, you gotta ask.
Yeah, but
It's,
a lot of times when you do, they feel like you're attacking them, and it isn't that way. It's you. I don't know how to explain it.
I think honestly, I think there are certain individuals that perhaps they feel like that and they have been given reason, let's face it. I don't know, but I've never felt attacked. I've always had a lot of success in talking to them.
I think sometimes, you guys ask me questions I don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
I just tell you, I don't know.
And
That's
that,
DC, that's Fort
That's
Charlotte.
fine.
Okay,
That's
I mean, I say that as a joke in a way, but I mean, it's like what's happened to Franklin. I can't help what happened to Franklin. That was before my time. Okay, I
But you
mean,
showed him you cared.
I do care.
That's the whole point. You
And
showed him as an individual, you care about him. Nobody has done that, so that's a good thing.
now he avoids me in Ingles. I see him and I go straight away.
He's leaving. No.
But you take things that are discussed right here, you write them on that clipboard, on that pad of yours.
Oh, let me get the point
You
out.
do try to find out,
And that's,
and that's the beauty of books.
Well, and, there's a lot of times some of this stuff can be handled with conversations behind closed doors. Not everything has to be done publicly in a council meeting
Absolutely.
or anything else. And I guess I just bring a lot of private sector philosophy to it. I mean, I truly believe in praising somebody in public. And if I need to chap or criticize, I try to do that in private. And I've said a few things that privately since I've been in office already that will remain
I
private.
didn't think they're paid.
But we've seen responses from it, and because this is what needed to happen. And when I told people I would take bold action, I meant bold action, but it might not be the action what you may be thinking how it's going to be played out. Because I do think that there's a way to get things done. You just got to know which levers to pull, whose button to push, and it takes a little time to figure that out.
How can we be a help to you, Charlie?
Keep coming to meetings. Just show up. I wish every resident in town would show up to these meetings.
Well, we need to.
No, I wish every resident in town. Every resident, anybody that's watching this, show up to the meeting. Make your presence be known.
And your voice heard.
Your voice heard. Your opinion matters.
Yeah.
If you live inside the city limits, this is your government, not my government. Not council's, your government. If you live outside the city limits and you're a customer of the city of Westminster, come to the meeting. Your voice needs to be heard too. We provide you a service. And as a service provider, I want your input. I can be reached directly at 864-873-8754. That number again is 864-873-8754.
We're all in
It
this
ain't ringing
together.
yet. No, but seriously, it's we need to hear from people.
Yeah.
We had some folks live out in the Madison area, off Tabor Road in a neighborhood. They've had 3 house fires the past few years in the neighborhood. All 3 house fires total loss. And now it looks like we're going to be able to put a fire hydrant in out there. Again, more grant money for some stuff. And to help with that neighborhood where they've had 3 total loss fires. So we're trying to do things, but if they wouldn't have brought that to our attention, being out there, I hate to say out there, but being out in the Tabor area, it's not something that's necessarily on the inside the city limit radar. So but to me, those concerns are important because our water service area is pretty big. We've got customers everywhere. I want to hear from them.
And I think more positive feedback on Facebook of things you see, or just take notice and share those things if you're a Facebooker.
Well, I'm not. But come visit downtown. Main Street's open. I don't need to be a commercial. We could go into the ShamWow real quick. But what questions, what's anything else y'all got on y'all's mind? I just try to leave it, interactive here.
I just want to say bravo, bravo, bravo. Great job, Charlie.
I believe we got more here this time than we
We
did.
had 10.
Last time I think there were 7.
So it's growing, and we need to
Encourage people to come.
people to come.
Well, over the past couple of weeks, I have seen stuff. I get on Facebook and I scroll. And, there's people that are very disparaging against the town. I get it. I get it. But block out some of the bad stuff because this is not an all bad place. It's a good place with good people. And what you hear about the power bills isn't all the way straight up and down the middle true here. It's depends on where you live and everything else. So I don't know. I think we're a good town.
I do too.
Come visit us on Facebook World. Come visit Westminster and stay a while. We need your money. It's true. We need your money.
That's right.
Come eat in town. I would say come stay in town.
Have you ever thought, or has anybody ever thought about just painting some of the buildings? Paint them like Charleston. Pretty colors.
That's what I
Antique
I know
colors.
Fred painted his 3 buildings. He got them up for sale now.
Yeah.
Is that the
We're still
gentleman
going?
that was here earlier?
You want me to finish?
That's
Oh,
right.
I can push finish anytime.
It's up to you. You know, I'm
He's
here.
the antique man.
But yeah,
I mean, you did all your advertising already, didn't you?
I think so. Can't take the self-employed out of me. Give me a camera and a phone number to give.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm your guy.
Thank you very much, though. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad people